Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of John Matrix Talks Movies. Today, who should be the next Dark Knight? Thanks for joining me today. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button to catch future videos from me. So, the word is, which is kind of expected, that Ben Affleck will not return as Batman in any other DC movies. Now, it's not surprising because he's dealing with some personal issues. He's dealing with alcohol addiction. He checked himself into rehab. So, don't really know where his career is really going right now. I just hope he gets clean, gets his life in order. But he is a great actor and a great director. One of the movies that he actually made that I really like is The Town. If you haven't seen that movie, check it out. It's a very, very good movie. Now, I'm not really emotionally attached to Ben Affleck as Batman. I think he did an okay job in Batman vs Superman and Justice League, but I never really saw him as Batman. Now, let's talk about some candidates that should replace him or could replace him as the Dark Knight. Now, the number one option to replace Ben Affleck as Batman, and it's really not even close, bring back Christian Bale. Christian Bale is the best Batman ever. Yes, he's better than Michael Keaton. He's better than Adam West as Batman. And, probably part of it could be that Christopher Nolan is such a great filmmaker, but man, The Dark Knight is one of the 5 greatest movies of all time. It just is. And Christian Bale as Batman, wow. Just bring him back. Because Batman now is so up in the air. The DCEU is so dysfunctional right now. I think they need a very, very familiar character to come back and a familiar actor in the franchise to come back. And what better person than Christian Bale to revive the DCEU? Now, Christian Bale is definitely a long shot to come back. I don't think he would even come back without Christopher Nolan, so it's unlikely. But also another rumor is that Warner Brothers is probably looking for a younger Batman. And of course, Christian Bale is in his 40s, even though Christian Bale looks really young. So there's a rumor going around that Kit Harington, who you know from Game of Thrones as Jon Snow, whose real name is Aegon Targaryen, that's another story though, that he may be in the running for the role of Bruce Wayne, aka Batman. Now, at first, when Christian Bale was cast as Batman, I was very skeptical of casting a British actor in the role of Batman, Bruce Wayne, because he's American. But of course, Christian Bale pulled that off with flying colors. So, this has nothing to do with Kit Harington being British. When I think of Kit Harington, I don't really see Batman. Now, I've only seen him in Game of Thrones, and I saw him in Pompeii. That's really like the only 2 movies that I've seen him in, and I just never thought of him as Batman. Maybe he could do Superman. I don't know. Haven't really thought about that. But Batman, probably not my cup of tea on that. He just doesn't fit to me. Now, Ryan Gosling, who's actually playing Neil Armstrong in First Man, he says that he may want to do a Batman movie and star as Batman if Damien Chazelle, who directs First Man and La La Land, is involved in the project. But I would kind of stand clear of him because he was never too enthusiastic about playing Batman since he wants to steer away from superhero movies. So it seems like he's putting in a lot of stipulations if he was to accept the role. And with Warner Brothers, directing the DC movies, Ryan Gosling, he probably could play Batman, but why would he really want to play it only if a director was involved in it? Now, I can see why some actors may want to stay clear of the DC movies because they haven't been too great as of late. Even though I like Man of Steel and I like Wonder Woman. Those are my two favorite ones, and Wonder Woman was really, really good. Now, so I can see why he kind of want to stay away from that, because if you get into those type of roles, you can get typecast, and that kind of pretty much happened with Christopher Reeves when he played Superman. So when everybody saw him, he was just Superman. Mark Hamill played Luke Skywalker. He was always Luke Skywalker. Didn't really see him in too much else, even though he was the voice of the Joker and he's really good at the Joker. Now, the last actor I want to talk about, I've been a fan of his for a while now, and he's starting to grow on me as a potential Batman or Bruce Wayne. Actually, I think he looks like Bruce Wayne, and this is Wes Bentley. Now, I've been a fan of Wes Bentley going all the way back to American Beauty, and he is really good in American Horror Story. If you haven't seen American Horror Story, check it out. The way he plays this detective, and it's very, very weird. I don't want to give too much away on it if you haven't seen it, but he is very good in that role. And he's actually been in a Christopher Nolan movie. He was in Interstellar. I wish he had a bigger role in that movie, but overall, I like him as an actor. He looks like Bruce Wayne. I think he can pull off Batman. But what do you think? So we talked about these several actors. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. If you're new here to the channel, please hit subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next video. John Matrix, out.